Y'all, what if I told you that I saved over $300 a month by getting healthy? Let me break down exactly how I did that.
When I think about His grace, His freedom, something like a woman prays. I'm grateful for the loving that you gave.
Hey friend, I'm McLean, financial coach, fractional CFO, and your go-to for real talk on ministry, marriage, money, and motivation. Y'all, here's how I save money with grocery shopping. I got very intentional about what I was putting in my cart, and more so because I recognized things changed by what I was putting in my body, then it changed by what I was putting in my cart. Catch it. It's a whole message. When things changed about what I was allowed to put in my body, things changed about what I was allowed to put in my cart, and that made a world of difference. Okay, so just a few things. I did not recognize one of the biggest things, and I didn't really see a lot of this until I started kind of tracking my meals and all of that. But your girl struggled with bread and sweets. Like, I ain't even gonna say I ain't tempted by it to this day, okay? But I recognize that in my everyday diet, one of the biggest things I had to push aside was bread, sweets, a lot of carbs and things that I just was eating on a regular. So like when I started replacing things, like I started finding like high protein desserts, right? YouTube and Pinterest was my friend, okay? When I started finding like bread replacements or whatever, high protein bread replacements. Y'all, when I learned how to make my own bread, it's a whole video on somewhere down where I made my own bagels, my own everything bagels with some cottage cheese and eggs and all of that, right? So I recognized that I had to make some changes because my face, I'm gonna have some pictures and some stuff so you'll see it, but my face literally was taking the brunt of all of those sweets and breads and things like that. And so when I started to put that stuff aside and get more intentional, what I did was start to focus more on my protein intake. My coach taught me that every meal had to have protein in it. You don't eat if there's no protein in it. I know that sounds harsh, but that's literally how she was. You do not eat if your meal does not have a protein anywhere in it. And then furthermore, you also want to have, protein, you want to have fat, like healthy fat. So like avocado, nuts, something in it. And then you also want to have veggies, right? And so that was the biggest emphasis. Like, okay, you got protein and you eat that first. That was one thing I used to never do. I would as soon as my food would come out or I'm cooking something, I would jump straight to the carbs first. And she taught me, no, you eat the protein first and then you start to introduce the other stuff on your plate. So because normally the protein will fill you up. So like if you got a piece of salmon on a plate and you start eating that first and then you introduce the veggies and you introduce the healthy fats and all of that, by that point, you pretty full off a lot of what you ate with the salmon. So that helped me understand. And then the water introduction, I was not drinking a lot of water. Not gonna lie to you, okay? Not gonna lie to you, maybe a bottle, if that, right? Coffee was my friend. Coffee still kind of but I used to drink coffee every day. Now I may drink it once a week, and I'm not even like restricting myself. I drink so much water that I don't even want it. Like I'm not tripping for it. But I realized in that journey I was dehydrated because I was not getting enough water. And so now my goal started off with a half a gallon a day. Now I'm to try to get at least a gallon a day because that does help me to be able to flush out all of the toxins and also to be able to not be dehydrated no more, okay? Another thing that I realized was vitamins. I did not have any good vitamin intake, okay? And so one of the things that was recommended that she really broke down was making sure I had vitamins. And we started with vitamin D3, vitamin C, a multivitamin, and then over time I started introducing some other vitamins that like magnesium citrate, all the other things. Like I did some research or whatever, and so I started introducing some probiotics, all of that I was taking daily, and I still to this day take vitamins. And literally, I thought I had it with me, but literally I have a medicine little container, and every week I fill up all of my vitamins, like Monday through. So I take that container with me in my lunchbox every day, because instead of it's not me taking my pills, it's me taking my vitamins every day, because remember, I really want to nourish my body. So that time is allowing me to be able to nourish myself. So we talked about protein, we talked about water, we talked about breads and sweets, we talked about the vitamins. But the biggest thing I had to realize is that it wasn't that I was eating too much. It was just that I was eating too much of the wrong things. So what this did for me, it saved me money, because another thing that was really problematic with me was that my schedule was always crazy. Okay, if you know me, then you know my schedule was a little crazy. A little cuckoo. Okay, it's all over the place. And because I didn't plan, I planned to fail. So I would get super hungry at like 2:00. That's my first time eating lunch that day. Sometimes I didn't even eat breakfast. And then at that point, I would stop at a fast food restaurant. Like, let me just go by Chick-fil-A, or let me just go by, whatever. And oftentimes that's just money that was not in the budget, right? And so when I realized that, again, financially, the benefit was that my groceries changed, but also my impulsive spending changed, because I had a plan. So I meal prep. My meal prep is different. I don't really do a whole lot of like meal prepping on one day and doing multiple meals. I tried that. It just didn't work for me. So I normally will cook a meal, and that meal would cover us for 2 days, and I would make lunch for my husband and I, whatever the case is. And so now I used to be real I don't do leftovers. I don't do that. But now it's like, girl, yes you do. Oh, you better eat some leftovers, okay? And I do, okay? And it be good. So now I actually have a plan around leftovers, right? Like this food is left over, and it follows, and it doesn't make me be impulsive, because now I have a plan for my food. So I normally have my breakfast in there, I have my lunch in there, and if I have a long day in the office, I have my dinner in there. Of course, I have my vitamins, and then I have some snacks in between. And my snacks is like a Greek yogurt with some nuts. It may be a banana with, some cottage, like whatever. I mix and match some of the things in there, so I always have food throughout the day. And so that's another thing. Some of us may be struggling financially when it comes to our money, because we are hungry. And because we are hungry and we didn't plan, we plan to fail, and we're showing up as impulsive, and it's messing up our wallet. Okay, so from this, I would definitely recommend try to get a food plan. I love being able to say, okay, Mondays and Tuesdays I'm gonna cook this meal. So I already go ahead and take that out, so it's easy to cook. And then Wednesday and Thursday I'm gonna do this, and then Friday this will be whatever. Being able to plan it out without actually cooking everything on a Sunday, that wasn't my cup of tea. That really did help change the game for me. And I want to say this: your diet is not punishment. I feel that I need to say that, because I, in the beginning, felt like it was. Like, I really had to get out of that mindset. But your diet is not punishment. It is a decision. Woo. Somebody called it. Somebody said it. Somebody called it. You took it. Your diet is not punishment. It is a decision. And you make that decision every time you open that refrigerator, every time you pull up in that drive-thru, every time you open them cabinets, chat. You make that decision every time. So I really want you to look at your shopping cart lately. I want you to look in your cabinets, your fridge, and really maybe do an audit. Like, does these foods reflect where I'm trying to grow? Does these foods reflect what I really see myself as? If any of these foods in here make me stumble, then I might need to get rid of them. And it may not be throw it away because, listen, food is not cheap, right? It may just be like, okay, you know, maybe I'm not gonna indulge. I'm gonna let my kids indulge in it because, you know, right? Whatever it is, or I'm gonna give it to someone else that may not be on the journey. I'm just not gonna throw it away. But the point is to get very clear about what your goals is in this season. And if your goals are financial as well as physically, then you want to be able to create space for that. And one thing I recommend is I have the, Apple device. And I know Google also has it, where I go into the notes in my phone and I create my shopping cart before I leave the house. Right? So I've already done my audit. I already know what I'm going to cook. I already know the meals that I'm going to cook. So one thing I used to do is I used to just go in there, baby. Okay? We go in there and we go in there. And everything I saw, I wanted to pick up. But now I'm so intentional. And so when I leave out, I'm like, $125. You did that. And got meals. Okay? But what? Don't talk to me. Okay. So if you are in this journey and you are really trying to figure it out, then I want you to comment the word strong. Just say, look, I'm trying. I'm doing the best that I can. These were some helpful tips, or if you have a question about, being on this journey and you just want myself and other people in the community to comment, just comment the question and let's work on this together. You got to save space as you're growing. I'm so proud of you and I can't wait to see you on the other side of this.
When I think about His grace, there's freedom, something like a woman